going on? This is Lawrence D. Adams, and we're going to get busy right now. And we're going live. Let me know how you are in the chat room. Remember, the number for today, for this whole week, is number 8. 8 for completion, new beginnings. New beginnings. So I want everybody to get ready for what we're going to talk about today. Yesterday was so heavy. I had to say, let me back up a little bit to get everybody sort of adjusted what was said yesterday about the social stratification and social class. So I want to definitely sort of lighten it up a little bit today and actually go from there. So what's going on? What's going on, Dre? What's going on, everybody? What's going on, my good brothers? What's going well? Hello, sir. What's going on? I hope you are well. Thank you. I'm doing well. Let's get the likes up when we get started. That's appreciated, man. What's up, Ted? Where you been, bro? Haven't seen you in a minute. Uh-oh. There it is. Let me get that going. Yeah, let's get this knowledge. Yes. Let's get going. I've been having fun on Facebook. Too much fun. I stirred them up. They don't even understand what's going on. But I want to definitely, talk about what we're talking about today. I'm going to put my camera up in a second. I got to turn one of my lights on, get it set. Get it set right quick. And get it set right quick. So we're going to definitely get into this. Hold on one second. Let me mute my understand you was I understand. Good. You're getting to the doctor. Good thing. The health is important. Health is wealth. So I'm going to get into it 1 second. People. 1 second. Salute everyone. Okay, let me drop this camera over. I had to get my light together. There we go. I'm there. Here we go. The game will always cost you something. Let me put that in there. The game will always cost you something. I did a little. The game will always cost you something. Always cost you something. That's what people miss. People miss that the game will always cost you something. So let me give the size when we talk about game over here. And I'm going to say some more stuff that I haven't said about the game before. So the games, I did some research and some studying. I research and study all the time. Salute to Sigma, Ted, Joe, everybody, William, everybody, salute to you. But I'm going to say this because it's going to be very important. It's going to be very. So the game will always cost you something. What do I mean? When we talk about game, you always talk about what? It is what? A strategy. We define it as a strategy. But game has multiple layers to it. And it's always about the truth. I did some study and research, did some things last night to understand a little bit more so I could be more clear and more definitive on when I explain the game. What's going on? It will always cost you something, even if you do not want to play. So we think that game comes from the pimps out in the street, or it comes from the Macs, or it comes from how can I say it? You think it comes from this particular group. The game is actually one of the most oldest things that's been going on since the beginning of time. And what happens is it was always designed for the truth to be revealed, but is also game was used Yeah, it has multiple layers. Game has multiple layers, means there's multiple facets of it. So those who use it for manipulation and trickery are using the low level of it. Those who use game for manipulation and trickery are only using the low level and not the purest form of what we would call game or strategy. Because when you look at it, game strategy is all around you and is built around a particular system. That's why we talked about social class the day before and yesterday to get you to understand the stratification. That means the layers or the tiers of how people play in different arenas of the game. So we will look at the arena of the king, the queen, the court, and then the peasants. Guess what happens? There's different levels of the game. And those who play the game at a low level, trickery and manipulation is not the highest form of the game. I'm taking it slow because I want you to walk with me as I begin to share this. If you begin, what game does, it reveals what's going on around you and what people are doing, their intents, whether good, bad, or indifferent. So whether you want to play it or not is being played with you at this very second or even all around you. We may not want to call it game, but it is game because that's how this social structure operates. It is a way to keep people what? In check and balance. So game will always game will always cost you something. It's going to cost you if you play, but it's also going to cost you if you what? Do not play. And I'm sad for some people who don't understand this, but that's how life is. This is really the reality I want to give you. When I play at my job, the problem is we have seen so many people use the word game in the sense of trickery and manipulation when in regards to women or someone losing something because of they're saying what? They're playing games and they're associating that with something that is childish. They're what? They're associating that with something that which is childish. So when they say, "Oh, they're playing games," the first thing that comes up when you hear game is what? The association that someone is being childish in their endeavors with them or someone else. I'm talking right now. I'm giving you the truth right now. So what we have done effectively for these past week is dismantle that thinking so that you understand the game is strategy. But how does this apply for men and women? There's always strategies for whoever you're going to talk with. Someone said something that I heard yesterday. You can't use the same tactics that you use with one woman with another because they're not the same woman, even though what? They are women. Game will cost you if you play. Game will cost you if you don't play. That's it. So whether we realize it or not, there are levels to this, and there's different rules of engagement at what social class or social structure that you're walking in. I can't use the same game I will use in the streets when I go to the boardroom, even though they may be the same at the core, but how I execute it is completely different. It's completely different. It's completely different. And so once you realize that, you understand when someone else is playing game on you, because game recognize game. Let's put that in the chat room. Game recognize game. Game recognizes game. See, when game recognize game, there's so much that individual is going to do because you see it for what it really is. Game recognize game. That's the reason why I'm taking my time to teach this or to go over it. Game recognizes game. So no matter how we try to fasten it or put a bow tie on it or define it or who's using it, game will always recognize game. It would always say, you know what? I see right through that. Game will always recognize game. That need to be put in the chat room. Game will always recognize game. It always will. Game will always recognize game. That's when a man comes up and a woman says certain things, you realize, that's game, I see it. Or when a woman said, he talking this, he's saying that, I recognize that's game. Now, what game they're running, that's for you to determine. Are they running the low-level game, which is manipulation and trickery, or are they running at the higher level game where it's about unity? Getting to a particular cause, getting to a certain destination. See, that's where I'm teaching from. I can't speak for anybody else, no other content creator, nobody what they think or what their opinions are. That's them. But the problem is, let me say this again, people have an issue with the word game because they associate game with a child playing a board game or playing something like that. So they view it as immature, not knowing that every day they step out the door, they are playing game when they go to work, when they deal with the person at the grocery store, when they deal with their boss, when they deal with when they get a promotion. They are using game. So game recognized game. One of the purpose of game is so that you don't get in a position of servitude. All right. Of course. Game recognized game in the big man. JT in the big. Okay. Game is so that you don't get into the position of what? Servitude, which is different from submission. Servitude. That is the reason for one of the purposes of game. It's so that you don't get into the position of servitude to someone else. When you unwittingly are taken advantage of by someone else. Let me slow down. That is the reason why I talked about social classes yesterday and stratification. Because I want people to get this so that they can apply into their lives, because it applies to their life, but also see that they've been working it all their lives. A child will try to run game on you to get out of homework and say, hey, I did my homework. Knowing God-given will that they have not wrote one thing on that piece of paper. The child, you see right through it, say, you know what? I've seen that before. That's game. So my point in getting this, the game will always cost you something. The reason why I say that is this. There is a consequence whether you do something or whether you do not do anything. The game will cost you because once you activate it, there's a price to be paid. Rather, the price to be paid is what takes place. Said, break that down. Break it down, okay? What I mean by servitude is this. There's the king, the queen, the court, governors, and then there are the peasants. There's different levels. They all serve who? The king. The king has to be in such game tight, and we would use that, or so in his game to run his kingdom that he doesn't get into the place of servitude. Not that there's wrong. Let me get this correctly so you understand it. There's nothing wrong with serving others, but servitude, and what I mean is where you have no choice and you are what? You are in the position of having no choice and you have to do what you have to do. That's what I mean by servitude in this, in the context of what I'm sharing. Because we're always thinking about female male relationship and whatever the case may be. But the ironic thing about this is there can only be one king, there can only be one queen. What's going on, Red Cedar Blues? What's going on? There can only be one king, there can only be one queen, and there can only be other people underneath them in that kingdom. So it's imperative that you understand that when I say servitude, so that you are not taken advantage by somebody else running game on you. That's why I said prior to that, what? Game recognized game. Because people will say and do things using game the wrong way, in a negative, in a manipulation or trickery to get you in a position where you have no choice, hence servitude. So I want you to get this right. I want you to get this really good from what I'm saying, because there's always a consequence of you using game. When we think of consequences, we always associate, once again, we associate with that being negative. It doesn't mean that it's negative. That means there's a reaction, there's a what? Effect, and there's a cause. There's effect and there's a cause. So I want you to get that the game always comes with consequence, even if you don't want to play. Thank you for that definition. The state of being a slave or completely subject to one more powerful. This is an educated group of people right here. That's it right there. I was looking for that. Thank you for pulling it up. The state of being what? A slave or completely subject to someone more powerful. Ooh. If you ever watch Highlander, there can be only one. That's right. There could only be one. Man, this is it right here. The state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful. Servitude. Different from submission. See, that's why they don't want you to know game or even execute game, because this definition, the state of being a slave or completely subject to someone more powerful. See, the more you don't servitude in the sense of not having someone run game on you, game recognized game. Now we connecting the blocks. Now we connected the blocks. Now it's being understand. That's it. That's it. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Now we connecting the block to about this. See, the more, this is intellectual conversation. That's what I'm gonna get to you. Yep. What's up? What's up, Red? That's real talk about Hamlin. You're right. That's it. That's why I love being here. Intellectual. That's the purpose, because we got intellectuals thinking and talking and reasoning. So everything I said, you test it out to see if it's, well, I'm telling the truth or not. I'm presenting right here, giving you truth. So that's why some people collectively do not want you to know game, because they want to keep you in this position. That's why some people do not want you to know game, because they want to keep you in that position. If I keep you in that position, guess what happens? Bingo, bingo. What happens? If I reveal the game and share it with you, you now you come out of servitude to me. Hence the trick, being subject to the prostitute, And the prostitute cannot run the same game, cannot run game on the pimp because the pimp recognized game. Do you understand? Let me break that down again. What's going on? What's going on, coach? Good to see you. Let me say that again. The prostitute can run game on the trick, but she cannot run that same game on the pimp. You know why? Because the pimp recognizes game. Please understand what I'm saying to you. That's why I love it being here. Intellectual conversation. Game. Given ambition more emphasis. Correct. What's going on, coach? That's why it doesn't. That's why. See, I'm breaking it down so it's digestible and that you understand. See, she can never run that what she runs on the trick, what she run on the pimp, because the pimp will be like, for real, oh, where's my money? He ain't gonna do it all like that. I'm being extra. He's gonna be like, where's my money? Because she understands that the trick is what is controlled by his lower nature, and what, and that the pimp is running really running the real game because he's not controlled by his lower nature. He is controlled by what he thinks. He is independent of what he thinks. I learned to find a way and find a person's open. If I lose, I learn from the loss. That's it. Do you understand what I'm saying? If this is making sense to you, let me know in the chat room because I'm taking it slow for a reason. I'm taking it slow for a reason. I'm taking a slow for. I want you to get this so your eyes can really be open to what's going on around you, so that you, most of all, that you can have a what if effective relationship with someone, woman with a man, man with a woman, so that we can build what? True community and family, so that you understand when people are trying to run game on you, regardless of how they package it. I'm seeing game in this in the context of this, of what I'm sharing on my channel, because I know that it's a trigger for some people, and I know it triggers for them to come, and it triggers some to go. What's going on, Romy? So I want you, 8 is that's right, 8 is the number for the week. So I understand exactly what I'm doing. See, the problem is, make sure you guys go and check out Red Sing the Blues. He definitely have a channel. Give him a shout out again. Check him out. Very methodical in what he's doing and with his shows. So go and check him out. So a reason why I'm saying this, the game always comes with a price. And even if you don't want to play, you are effectively playing. Even if you do not want to play, baby, you are in the game. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you right now. As you're listening to this while you're eating your salad or at lunch or eating that sandwich, I'm talking to you right now. That's why I said before, the greatest game you need to play is on yourself. That's why I'm saying that. Because my goal is to get you out of the position of servitude and into a position of who you really are, for the women into your real queendom, and men into your real kingdom, and for men and women to come together and not be at odds with each other. That is the reason why I'm saying these words. That is the reason why I'm conducting these. I'm doing this methodically. I'm doing this strategically with breaking this down. Because if you do not break it down, people will run game on you and you don't even know it. Second of all, you realize when you execute game, it will what? It will what? Cost you something. That's his YouTube, man. Check him out. Shout out to him. So that's the reason why I'm talking to you. That's the reason why I'm breaking it down every day. Who shout out to Ron Wills yesterday. Only reason why I came into that and began to study that because I listened to one of Ron Wills' videos on social class and social things. So that's when I went a little further and say, let me look at social stratification. Who's talking on that kind of level to talk about social stratification and how it plays even in a data arena? Because you're trying to date someone who's not in your social class and you're wondering why it's not working. You may get sex from them, but you will not get any further than just sex because you do not fit in their class, especially if they're unwilling to change or come out of their class to fit in yours or vice versa. Sex will be the only interest way, but that's all you would get. Marriage, no, it's not going to happen. That's why I'm talking to you this way. That's why I'm breaking it down. That's why I said to play the game on yourself first, right? That's what I'm saying. That is the reason why I'm speaking like this. That is the reason I'm addressing this like that. That is the reason why. So let me get back to what I'm saying. The price you would pay, we think of, once again, I'm putting another marker here. We think of paying the price that is going to be a loss. We think when someone said, "Oh, you're going to pay a price," it's going to be a loss. No, when you pay a price for something, it can also be a gain. Let me say that again. When I say when you gain will always cost you something, automatically thought our thinking go check. Oh, I'm about to lose something because I'm about to play the game. No, the price is your interest to what's on the other side of it. The price is the interest of what's on the other side of it. That is what it's about. There's always a price, whether you don't do or do or whatever wherever you're going to do to what you're going to do. There's always a price. It's a price I pay every day, 12:30, to come up here and to begin to share what? Thoughts, ideas about the game. There's a price. That means no one calls me during this time. No one text messages when people are trying to text message me during this time. There's always a cost. Thank you for investment. There's always a cost of interest into where you want to go. The problem is no one's teaching you that you have to pay a price. Everyone wants to teach you and give you this to make you pat you on the back, especially you men. It's the woman. They're crazy, man. They doing it. Brother, something wrong with you if you keep attracting this type of woman. Something is wrong with you if you keep attracting this type of woman. Something is wrong with you. It's sacrifice, yeah. There's something wrong with you. If you keep having the same sad story with the same sad song with the same type of woman, just different names, different names, there's something wrong with you. And the problem is no one wants to be straight up and tell you, you need to get your act together. You want better quality woman? What did I say? Men get better quality woman when they have a better when they have a better standard for their life. That's game. Men get a better quality woman when they have a standard for their life. The problem is most guys don't have a standard for their life. Their standard is, how can I get wet? And when that's only your standard, that's all you're going to give. And you're not going to get the fruit from the woman who can open up dimensions together with her that you wouldn't get just by yourself because of the yin and the yang. Remember Warren B. Pimp God talked about that yin and the yang? There's certain things that you won't even experience without that woman. See, this is the thing. The problem is you have been choosing, this is game, I'm on track. You've been choosing the wrong kind of woman. Acquire before you desire always. Yeah. You've been choosing the wrong type of woman because in essence, back to what we're talking about, you have no game. You have no what? You have no game. No one has effectively taught you how to choose a good woman. First, for you to have a standard and to look in the mirror and say, my stuff is messed up. How do I adjust what I got? I said this a couple shows back. Go look at the 5 people that you dealt with, and it's going to show a mirror of who you are. See, it's easy to say, man, it's the women. And it's easy when women say, it's the men. But no, somebody was there for all 5 people. And now all 5 people that was there's John, Jimmy, Joe, Clark, Kent. All right there, Kim. Susie, Brenda, Takika, Rarika, and Tamika. Who's all there? Bob. There is you. So there's always a price when it comes to the game, whether you want to play it or not. The problem is most people don't want to play it. Most people don't want to play it because they're afraid. So they teach you to be afraid to play the game. Oh, you don't want to play the game. Oh, no. Teach you to be afraid to play the game. And while the game is constantly being played all around you, it's constantly being played. Constantly being played. It's constantly being paid all around you. Thank you for the super chat. Super chat. Thank you so much, Alfie Kingdom. It's constantly being played whether you like it or not. It's what? It's constantly being played whether you like it or not. The problem is, and I'm going to say this, just my oh, that's not Jono. Jono, can you and Lawrence break that down? Acquire to desire. That's a different Jono. That's Jonathan, and that's John. Jono is 2 different people. So I want you to get that. So when I mean acquire before you desire. Listen to that. That's a whole chapter in my book. Check it out. What book is that, Alfie? Dominance Mindset of a boom. Da-da-dum. There's what? Dominance Mindset of a King. I can't reach over there because I got to shut my camera off and I got my mic hooked up, but I will grab the book and show you what book it is. Acquire before you desire. So I want you guys to really get what I'm saying. There's always a price that you will have to play. And even if you don't want to play, baby, you are playing, and it's happening all around you. It's happening all what? It's happening all around you. It's happening all around you. It's always going to be a price. You're going to pay what you... See, the problem is people want to get into the game, but don't want to play the price for the game. People always want to get the game and execute the game, but they don't want to pay the price. But what is the model that's on the street and everybody knows that's not on the street? The game is not told, it is what? Sold. The game is not told, it is sold. And baby, you paying attention right now. You paying the price right now with your attention. You are what? Paying a price right now for the game that you're getting, because the game is what? It's not told. It's not sold. It's sold and not told. Some are playing and don't even know it. Ted, come on now. What? Some are playing and don't even know it. I ain't sweating. But many times people are playing on a low level. See, there's different levels. That's why I talk about stratifications. There's different levels of the game. And what happens is this. You got to see what level of the game are you really playing on. Because different arenas call for different, what did I say? I've been saying. It calls for what? It calls for different rules of engagement. Let's see what you said, Alfie. Thanks for another super chat. Low, show them, bro. They so they don't know IMBS. It's literally the last chapter of the. Okay, I'm going to stop my camera. Let me see if my mic could go over there. Too bad I don't have one of them cameras that can follow me. Dominance mindset of a king. Finesse. Okay. See if my mic go over there. Went to my library. So he said, dominance mindset of a king. Dominance mindset of a king. Uh-oh. Y'all ready for me to show it? Look at this. Let me see. I got a good lighting. So what does that say? Acquire before you desire. Look at that. Acquire. This is this book of this Alpha Kingdom. We just sold. Super chat. Super chat. And the last title of the last thing, acquire before you desire. Y'all need to read that, digest it. Acquire before you desire. It says what? Acquire before you desire. Let's read the first. Let's read it for a minute. Then we'll go right. And then we go back to what we're saying. So it is this. It is. This is the last principle. Quite simply, acquire before you desire. Now, I know you may be thinking, how does that make sense? You have to desire something before you acquire it, correctly? It is also a key note that confidence is built from success. So you have to have somewhat success in order to keep going. It's like desiring a fancy hot new ride, but having no cash or gas to go anywhere. One thing I've learned from coaching men and women internationally is the majority of people live in fantasy. So you have to be realistic with ourselves. Find something that was passionate about and master it. Find something we spend time with. We spend time doing to enjoy our time with. This can be a hobby or people spend time with or whatever. Okay. But back to the point. Acquire before you desire and being realistic with yourself. Do an appraisal of yourself. I want to have a nice body. I never work out. That's where the ideology acquire before desire comes in. Thank you. I just want to know it's just between touching on something, but I have a whole chapter. You give them awfully bars. Love you, bro. So I want you to know. So what acquire before you desire, from what Alfie is saying from this book, because we're educated people over here. It says from the analogy that he gave. Let's get the analogy that he gave. If I want a nice body, but I never work out, that's where the ideology acquire before you desire comes in. You put work in, breathe in. You put work in, breathe some success, and that will motivate you to receive more of it. I don't want to be a YouTuber. I don't want to be a YouTuber broadcaster, and I have a million videos on my phone, yet no one that I sent because I never updated. So it means you can do one thing, but you got to put in work. You have to get hungry for it. I remember, I don't share this much because most people think, oh, you're trying to cap, you're trying to say all this, who you think you are. But I remember in New York, and I wish Jono was here because Jono was one of it there. Great concept to change that changed my mind and fit into the game, right? It fits right into it. I remember, let me say this. I remember sitting down with Les Brown, the motivational speaker who was married to Gladys Knight. You know, the great motivational speaker. I remember sitting down in the kitchen with him as he was going over his new venture he was going to do. This was years ago, about 10 years ago, on telling your story. But one of the things that I've seen inside of him, even at his age, and I'm talking about Les Brown, the motivational speaker, the black man, you know who I'm talking about. One of the things, go research, and he said when we sat at that table, is that, and I've seen in his eyes, and this is game, because I want you to get this is game, is that you got to be hungry for more than where you are at and where you're going. You got to be hungry for more. It's the same reason why everybody in this core group, the elite core, comes back every day, because they're hungry for what? More information, more ways to apply the game, more ways to see it. So they recognize game. They have to become hungry. And I remember looking in his eyes, because he had got in the car and he forgot his medicine up in the room. And I went to go get the room, went to the medicine, got the room and talked to him, blah, 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 but A, B, C, D, F, G. But one thing I noticed in his eyes, he never lost the hunger to constantly ask, doing and acquiring more, doing more. I remember he's talking about a story of he was satisfied just making so much money a year. Then someone told him, you know what? I made that amount that you wanted for a year in one meeting. His whole concept of that level of money changed once that other individual explained to Les Brown that what he was were trying to get to in a year, someone was making in one conference meeting. So how would that rock your life? But how would it change your concept? So someone, let me break it down to what we're talking about. Someone broke the game down to him and say, Les Brown, you talking about this amount of money a year? Man, dude, I made that just going to one event, speaking one time, and that's it. That person made that in one time speaking. So his whole game had to shift from how he was doing things to another level. And what happens is either he played or he stayed at the same level. That's why there's always a price. So the price that Les Brown had to pay was letting go of the concept of looking for that amount of money a year to getting the concept in his mind that he can have that in one event that he spoke at. Let me say that again. He had to change the game that he's seen of trying to acquire this amount of money in a year versus now getting that in one event at speaking. Now you say, well, how do we know you spoke? I wish I had my pictures to show you that I was with Les Brown. And then Jono was here. He would vouch because he was there also with Les Brown. I just don't talk about it. I don't brag about it, and I don't name drop. But in this situation, I think it's imperative that I do share what I've done. Because most people say, well, how do we know who you are? What do you say? How do you get what you get? Dude, I've been around a lot of people I don't even talk about. But I will mention Les Brown and the conversation that was had in front of me, and I was a part of the conversation, and he talked about that. So you got to understand, you're not dealing with a novice here or someone just started out yesterday. And I can show you my library full of books. It's not so much that I read these books. It's the point that I apply these books. That's the difference. So when I mention Les Brown, I mention it for the reason to get the concept of the game that was given to me when I was around him and in that conversation. If this is making sense to you, let me know. And I want you to show another part of this game that I just did. I had no problem sharing Alfie's book or even reading from the last chapter, because you know why? Game recognized game. See, I understand when I put out there, for someone else, it's going to come out, it's going to come back for me. When I put that out there, he sold money, but I'm sowing back to him for someone potentially going to buy his book to get just the last chapter. Game, always recognize game. It's always being executed and lived around you. So if you understand what I'm saying, please let me know. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying. This is making more sense. There you go. There you go. It's about the difference between knowledge and understanding. Yes, you William, you right on it, man. You're on it. You're on it. And that's the difference here. Yeah. So I want you to get what I'm saying with you. So for me to be around Les Brown says a lot. Because he's not going to hang around with just anybody. He's not going to be talking to just anybody. So I'm saying that not to plug Les Brown, plug Alfie, to say what you're dealing with, you're talking with here is someone who wants the best interests for you to get results. For you, if your goal is to have someone in your life, for you to have a successful relationship, a successful marriage, a successful business, for you to get that next level. The fickle and non-believers always want receipts, while the rest of us can discern the real, such as myself. Right. I have no, if Jono was here, he'll tell you, yep. Because Jono was there when Les Brown was there. He was there. I don't mention it a lot. I don't tell you who all I've been around. Some people names need to be not given. Because there's another level of game. Let me get it. Especially when you guys who want to deal with certain women. It's called discretion. 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 Some of you guys talk too much. It's the old song by Houdini. You got a big mouth, big mouth, big mouth, a big mouth. Mouth almighty can never shut up. You losing in the arena of the game with certain people because you talk too much. And then you talking too much even about women that you have dealt with. Ooh, that's a little too much for somebody. Too much for somebody. Back to what we're saying. Because there's a price. And you're not willing to pay the price. And that woman's not going to deal with you because now what you did and what you said has definitely, you have exposed her and yourself. And you did not know the key to interest to certain levels of social class is using discretion or knowing when to shut your fat mouth. What's going on, babe? See, knowing when to what? Shut your fat mouth because you're talking too much. Some of you are going back to the lower class because you're talking too much and you're dealing with somebody or dealing with a situation. It is not wise when you're in negotiations. You're in negotiations with what? A business deal. And you begin to talk so much. You're talking about the plans and what's going to take place. With your uncles, my uncle used to like to play the Big Mouth song by Houdini a very long time. Yeah, that's a long time ago. I ain't gonna say I'm old. I'm older. So yeah, a lot of people don't even know that song, but Big Mouth, yeah. There's a time and place for everything. You get it. That's in the Bible right there. Right there. That's it. Woo, listen with your ears and your eyes. You remember that. Ha, right. That's it. Listen with your ears and your eyes, not with your mouth. And that's, you got to have discernment for different levels of where you're going to be at. There's certain places I'm at that I cannot say to anyone where I've been and what I've done, because you know why? It's a level of discernment or a level of discretion that needs to be given. Game always comes with a cost, whether you want to play it or not. If I don't want to play that level, I will not have access to that particular level. Whether I want to play or not, they will automatically kick me out. You talk too much. Bye. I'm telling you how it is. Wow. Listen, think about the scene in the Quiet Man. Talking about women in saloon is low level. Intellects is knowing what intellects is knowing what to say and when to shut up and observe. That's correct. Let's see what this. They need to know the song because they're relevant. Oh, right there. Oh, they need to know the song. Okay, the song is by Houdini. I can't play it, man, because you get flagged for it because they got rights for it. So it's a song by Houdini. Look it up. It's called Big Mouth. So I can't. I wish I could play because it's one of my favorite songs. So I like it too. So I can't give it to it whether. Yeah, you gotta listen to the playback to this. Because I broke some things down that is so important for people to get. So I want you to understand. Yeah, I wish I could play the song. I wish there was nothing like that where you can just play the song and then they get their little cut and you get your cut. But yeah, Big Mouth by Houdini. Shout out to Ecstasy. Just passed a couple weeks back. I'm an old school hip hop head, so it is what it is. But my point is this: you got to use discretion when you go in different levels, different social different social circles, because it is very, 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 very important that. So back to the game, what we're talking about. Game always comes with a price, whether you want to play it or not. And most people want to keep you from playing. You know why? Because game, they don't want you to recognize their game. They do not want you to recognize their what? Their game. They do not want you to recognize their game. Because if you recognize their game, guess what's going to happen? They can't run it no more. So that's why some people say, oh, there ain't no game. No. Or they're trying to say they'll overemphasize game. You need to watch them too. But I'm right in the middle, say, recognize it when you see it and move accordingly. So I'm not going to go any further. Any questions before I go off? Any questions about what we're talking about? Let me emphasize that because people talk about everything else. Any questions? The number today is still 8 because 8 is new beginnings all this week. Any questions on what we talked about today? Does it make sense or it didn't make sense? Need me to explain something a little bit further or go in a little bit more detail? This is the perfect time in these 5 minutes because you know LDA gonna be like, cut, I'm gone. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? I know there's a delay. 8 is the number. That's right. Everybody getting it. 8 is the number. Any questions? Any thoughts? Any comments? It's the perfect time for you to do that. It's the perfect time for you to do that. To ask questions, any thoughts, any intentions on what we're talking about. Not on your mama ate pig feet yesterday and you wonder why women keep running away. None of that. Not here. Not going to happen. I don't want to hear it. I'll tell moderators, pull their comment, not to stay on topic. The reason why I'm saying that, because I used to be a student in a class, and I remember one teacher we used to do that all the time with. We would start talking about this and that, and we'd miss out on the lesson we need to learn. So not here. Any questions, any comments? I need to get my better shave of my beard. Any questions, any comments in these next 4 minutes? Next 4 minutes. Did you get anything from this? Did you understand what I'm saying? Do you need to go back and listen to it? Your comments and your questions are important. Leave a comment and question afterwards. Thank you for what you do. You're a blessing to us. Nope. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's here. I appreciate everyone. I don't take it lightly. I honor you guys for coming in and listening. I honor everyone from listening and coming in. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Every day you come in faithfully and listen to me go on about what I'm talking about. What's tomorrow? Today is Wednesday or Thursday. I'm trying to figure. Oh, today Thursday. Oh, dog. Oh, I'm happy about that. Yeah. So yeah, babe. See, I didn't forget about that song "Highway to Freedom." It is still getting done. Peace, Alleyway chat. Thank you, Sean O'Neill. Appreciate it. Thank you. Good. Thank you. What I'm glad I've been among some intellectual people today. Peace to you all. LGA, you are awesome, man. You are awesome too. Great comments. Anything that you want. This is a good person. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Share, like, tell someone else about this because this is intellectual conversation here. No time for no other kind of stuff. If you want that, I'm going to dismiss you. I have moderators in here who already know, take you by the coat and pull you right on out, or to block you, or to take you on timeout. Because here we are about you getting results. Here we're about you getting to the next level. It is not about LGA. Well, a little bit it is, but it ain't about him per se. It's about you getting what you need. So that's why I'm giving first, so that you can get. So I appreciate you guys in these 2 minutes. Please know that what? Let me look for this. Is that movie? Please know that you are greatly appreciated. I thought I had this. Queued up. I thought I had it queued. Oh shoot. I thought I had it queued up, and there it is. Here we go. I'm not sure if it's bleeding through. It might be. Can you hear that or no? That's not what I wanted to play. Browse recently added. There we go. Play. Here we go. This is LDA. You know what time it is? And I'm out. If you want this, let me know. This will be available no later than Saturday. But LDA is out of here. This is called Highway to Freedom. I will have a link available for this song